This is the John Hallett Podcast with John Hallett.
Because the way we're living, we need to change it, make it change today. And all learn from failure. Maybe they just wanted it a little bit more than you. That's probably the fact.
And now your host, John Hallett.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We were talking about being motivated and our recent black belt promotion and some of the things that came up in that conversation. And also, you know, we've got the election coming up, and that scares the crap out of me with all of these illegal aliens supposedly, you know, bringing in to vote. That stuff scares me, people. I'm sorry. I think there's even something going on here in Douglas County with, they were going to have the DC graduation at Air Force Academy, and I thought, because if they were undocumented, they couldn't get onto the Air Force Base. So I guess now they're having it at Echo Park, but that was on the news last night. My wife had heard about it already. And again, we got to change and do things. It is extremely upsetting to me. And if people are looking for a better place, you got to do it the right way. This open border, Biden, in my opinion, is really doing a lot to degrade America by bringing in so many illegals over his term. It's crazy. And if they're going to vote, that's just changing the whole thing. And of course they're thankful for him opening the border and making it easy. I think it's a conspiracy on his part and the Democratic Party to bring in illegal aliens. And Josh, of course, wants to bring himself in. But I think it's crazy. I'm all for when people are... But we can't have asylum for the entire world. We're paying so much. I don't know. I was listening to Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard.
On Joe Rogan. And it just blew me away. And you forget about things. Like so many people forget about the hurricane on Sanibel. My mother-in-law's just moved back in.
Oh my
hurricane
goodness.
That destroyed Sanibel Island down in Florida. But the fires and the lava and that eruption from a year ago now, you know, those people haven't recovered from that. I don't know if they can even build back. But FEMA gave them, hold on, you're gonna freak out. You're gonna freak out at how much money FEMA just gave these people.
How much?
$700.
For the whole thing or each?
For the whole, no, probably, yeah. For each person, or that lost property, I'm not exactly sure, but you can't even rent a room on Hawaii. And that's what she said. I'm like, you can't even rent a room on Nantucket Island for $700, let alone Hawaii, which is even more expensive than Nantucket Island.
And it's all tourism. It's all tourism.
You get, how much money are we giving these illegal aliens? We're flying them around the country. They're getting all of this stuff on the American taxpayer. I don't know how people aren't freaking out on the Democratic Party. If you vote, you're just giving away money. But here we have these people in Hawaii that got $700. We've got these cities giving illegal immigrants money every month. And the homeless, they're not doing anything. They don't want, it just blows my mind, the things that are going on. And, you know, there's been several things, people talking about it. It scares the crap out of me because you guys have heard me. I'll go for RFK as an independent over Trump's too polarizing. He's got too much baggage. We need to just freaking eject out of that. And both of those two. Oh my God. We need a unified country. And I hate to say, maybe what is it going to take to unify this country? Another 9/11?
Oof.
I mean, nobody wants anything like that, but people got to get their head out of their butt. Nobody wants to talk about anything. We got the Drake and what's the other dude?
their
the
beef.
rapper beef. And,
Yeah.
like there's a drive-by, and people would rather talk about that crap, and
Right.
nobody wants to talk about what's real.
Yeah, like
And nobody, and you got this stuff going on college campuses. Are they, who are they being funded by? That's some crazy stuff. But I think Joe Rogan was talking to Mike Baker. If you guys don't listen to the President's Daily Brief podcast, that's great. He's actually was kind of promoting they're getting a new thing. They're going to video.
What?
They're doing like a weekend show, I guess. So it's like 20 minutes or less in the morning, and then he expanded to his afternoon brief, which is like 10 minutes. But
really
they
nice.
were talking, and I think it was a pretty good idea. They were almost saying it. I guess they were talking about, why don't we bring two sides on Joe Rogan and let them freaking talk about it? Because they were like, why don't they have a dance-off? Why aren't the Israelis and Palestinians, or they could rap battle? Wouldn't that be way better? I mean, wouldn't it? Than killing people? Let's have a rap-off. Whoever's better wins. But why don't we bring that? That is such a disaster.
Yeah.
Can you bring people together on a show like Joe Rogan and let them, let's hear the sides.
Dude, I would
Let's
pay
hear
for that.
what's the freaking solution?
I'd pay-per-view that and make a fortune. I would watch it. Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, have some experts on Joe Rogan, because he just gets to the bottom of people, and they talk about real things. So
Rogan doesn't have any rules, right? The thing is that on a lot of these news channels and stuff, everybody's got rules, right? There's somebody that pays their bills, so they got to listen to the boss upstairs. Rogan gets to talk about whatever he wants because that's what he established, right? And that's why things are a little different with him. He certainly has his biases, but for the most part, I think he's done more good journalism than most of the 24-hour news cycle stuff, right? Just by allowing people to debate stuff and talk.
yeah,
Everybody's afraid to do that anymore.
yeah, or there's what's the motive behind the whole thing? It's you don't know where they're coming from, and I think he does. He had Jordan Peterson on. That was a really good one. That was a really good episode.
Plus, if things go horribly wrong, I think he can handle himself in the room. I think Rogan would be okay, right? I think he'd be all right.
I mean, he does have his MMA guys that come on, and BJJ guys, and everything else that come on his show. So I mean, he's getting older, but he can freaking handle it.
Yeah,
It's kind of.
that'd be all. I could see him putting up like two people in a headlock simultaneously. Be nice, be nice.
Yeah. So I don't know what the answer is, right? I don't
have one either. I mean, if you want John to run for president, email him at john@rmsdf.com and say, I want John for president, and then donate money.
Then donate money. Yeah, we need to start a campaign because we gotta reach more people. So that is the constant battle, and it's the battle of getting people in the gym. I know, tell a friend, please tell a friend. Word of mouth is so huge. So if you're in that Castle Rock area, or you just support your gym, the struggle for martial arts school owners, fitness school owners to get people in. I would say, geez, a donut shop might have been easier. Opening a Dunkin' Donuts.
Man, I always thought it was tough, but once you work inside the industry, it's unlike anything else I've ever worked. Because I've sold cars, and like I've said, it was easier selling somebody a car, which is a huge purchase.
Yeah, they're excited.
Yeah,
gonna have a new car, status symbol. See me driving down the road.
But the moment I'm like, invest in yourself, they're like, oh, hold on, and it's like, there's total return on the investment. It's 100% return on your investment if you train. There it is. You get better. You get more skills. You get in shape.
Yeah, scientifically proven. But people, especially people that weren't athletes in, growing up, that they've never done anything athletic, it makes it really hard. And then you got the athlete that, I'm sick of it, and they stop, or stop at college because they're sick of it, or they go to a school that the level of play is so much higher. And maybe they don't do intramural. They don't get in and continue their fitness journey. Into some capacity, it gets really hard, but it's only getting harder. That's what you got to remind yourself.
I find a lot of people have since they never did sports early, they just don't have the discipline to get up and go do it, right? Anybody who's worked or done sport in school, there's that discipline of having to go and having to do it.
Yeah, just the whole thing. I think that the episode with Jordan Peterson, I think that guy's a treasure. I wish I was as smart as that guy. He's brilliant.
You got your own intelligence.
Yeah. Not Jordan Peterson smart. I think he's fantastic. I think more people maybe realize, like after he's gone kind of thing. And, he had a health scare, I think, over COVID.
Yeah.
That it looks like he's, recovered from. But I think it was a great episode talking about everything. But he's talking, 6 and 60s. People are like, be free, and do what I want. And there's really something to be said with the discipline of, even I've been on lately here at RMSDF. Where's your uniform? Had some kids. I mean, we had it's been moved. It's like people look at it enough, but we had a full uniform required. It's the discipline of putting on and getting ready. It's because I just wear whatever. You're supposed to have your belt, your MMA gloves, and the rest of your uniform. And just how irresponsible some of the teenagers are. Like, where's your stuff? Like, sometimes I'm sick of talking about it. And you're like, but I've been on a kick the last 2 weeks going, where's your stuff for the adults? I mean, how many weeks have I been saying, if you're doing Peaceful Warrior and you want to wear tactical pants and do concealed carry, we have the patches. Spent $800 on patches because that was the answer. Everybody, like, what are we going to do for uniform if we're concealed carry? So how many weeks has it taken you, Josh, to put it on?
I put it on a pair of pants, but they were dirty.
You couldn't wear them today?
No, there's no way I'm going to let you.
So your uniform smells.
Froze.
Well, that becomes another issue for men. You need to be able to wash your stinky crap and be prepared for class. There's another form of discipline. The uniform, and I've had a lot of people say, I'll put it on, especially our evening crew, that I put it on, and then part of me says, oh, I don't want to go. And they lose, but they're already dressed to go, and they go.
Unfortunately, if you didn't know, I sweat a lot and I stink really bad. And the pants that I had them on were...
Is that what Leo's like?
Just hanging out near me.
The office. Last week, he's like, it was me last week. Yeah, what stinks in the office?
No, it turns out it was me. And the wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm patting and sewing this on there. She's like, you're doing a terrible job. And I said, you do it for me. No, that's your job.
It's your job, yeah.
And I washed them. And I thought I washed them.
Yeah.
And then I got up this morning.
But it's been a while. But I think that's part of discipline. Having that, team uniform. Everybody's the same. Nobody's coming in. I used to say nobody's coming in a Budweiser shirt and whatever. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
And there's part of that. You put on the uniform for the military, for Taekwondo, BJJ. You have a uniform. You have something. And I think it's part of being the same crew, the same team. But especially for the kids, it's discipline. 'Cause my mom forgot my belt. Yeah, no. Be ready. I mean, you get these kids, they can remember their phone, or even the little kid, they've got a tablet, even whatever's got learning games, whatever it is. Those little kids don't forget that freaking tablet. You're telling me that little kid can't remember, I'm going to Krav class, I got to get my belt? I think they can. And yeah, I mean, some of them are forgetful. I mean, that's... But it helps improve. You'd be a whole lot worse. for different kids. I mean, everybody's a little different. So.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I understand, sir.
Get your stuff.
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to show up more.
I'm just trying to show up more. I'm here, though.
Just trying to show up more.
And I feel that way with the kids. Well, you're here. Maybe there's laundry. But then it just becomes this thing that it's everybody's laundry day. And then the new guy doesn't realize it's your laundry day. And like, oh, Josh K, it's casual Wednesday. I guess we just like come in with whatever we got. Like I had a girl, I don't even know who was it? I don't like the singer. What? I kept calling her. She had some like a concert-ish t-shirt on. I don't know. Some guy I don't like.
Don't say Taylor Swift because they'll undo you.
Oh yeah.
Taylor Swift people never make fun of Taylor Swift, John.
Oh.
Ever.
Oh, is that what the Swifties are?
Oh, dude, they're an army.
I heard that. I'm like the Swifties. I'm like, who are the Swifties?
They will tear you down.
Whatever.
They're the most dangerous group out there. They're almost a terrorist organization.
They probably are. They probably should be on the register.
Yeah, don't piss off the Swifties.
Why? What's her problem? What do people piss off?
Oh, I forgot who it was. There was just some sort of a podcast that came out. It was a radio show. The guy was a little bit critical of Taylor Swift's music, like her re-recording and stuff. And the Swifties were trying to get him banned on stuff. I mean, Swifties are
okay. You're going to stop somebody's free speech. So right there, I'm done with the Swifties. Because they want to take away somebody's free speech. You want to ban somebody saying it's like the whole Drake thing and the other guy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Right?
I had it last night.
I don't know.
I guess Drake has a lot of ghostwriters, and the other guy writes a lot of his own stuff. Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
But the guy that writes his own stuff and records it. I have more respect for that guy overall. Is that guy just a good musician?
Yeah.
Are you looking up the guy's name?
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar.
Is that the dude? Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah,
and hey, you got a great voice. Not everybody can write, but you've got a great voice. But as far as like overall, I'd have to. Drake supposedly has more hits. But somebody else is writing your hits, so. Like best overall. I'm going to give it to Lamar if I'm just looking at it. And
yeah, artistically speaking.
I don't really, I know some of Drake's songs. Lamar I'm not as familiar with. But
Taylor Swift writes all her own stuff.
Does she?
We love Taylor Swift. Don't come after us. Please.
Josh, didn't you go to the concert?
No, I've never been to a Swiftie concert. Actually, I worked at the Pepsi Center when it was the Pepsi Center when Taylor Swift was there.
Didn't you go to a concert not too long ago?
We went to Alan Jackson. That was pretty cool.
I thought it was a girl. I thought you wanted to saw some country girl.
Oh, maybe we did. I don't remember. She wants to go see all of the Shania Twain. We saw Shania Twain. That was a crazy concert too. But we're hitting up all the '90s country people for her. Next is Brooks and Dunn.
Oh gosh,
she loves Brooks and Dunn.
Oh yeah,
had to get her the T-shirt. Like happy birthday.
So, but yeah,
feuds, man.
One of our girls were wearing the shirt, and I just kept calling her. I can't even remember the guy's name now. Is it the guy with the red hair?
Carrot Top?
No, a singer.
I know you're talking about Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. I just kept calling her Ed. Like, hey, if you're gonna wear Ed Sheeran T-shirt, I just think your name's Ed. So she was getting some out of me.
Let's get her uniforms.
I think one of the big things that came out of that promotion was how many people said that their family, helped motivate them to get up and go.
Oh, you talking about
class?
The black belt promotion thing?
Yeah, the black belt promotion.
Yeah.
Like many of them, their family helped motivate them, and they're supported. And we had talked about it here, in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Before that, of surrounding yourself with supportive people. When you have the negative people around you, or you're at work and they're going to go out for drinks after, people just bring each other down. And what we saw with 9, was it 9, 10, 11? I don't even know. I think it was 11. Is it 11 of them? That just got promoted to either first or, a huge second degree.
Yeah.
step. But, this is something, that I was thinking of last week. I might talk about it some more. And instructor training this weekend has been on my mind of just sometimes people get to black belt and they just start letting things slide. And I'm seeing that. And yeah, do you have stuff come up? Like life happens, and we can't always be just accelerating up or training super high. You end up breaking yourself. And sometimes I look at little things that come up as, hey, it was an unintended rest day. Was it good? I'm not going to beat myself up. But some people's extended rest days now they're on a month.
Yeah.
And they haven't done anything. That, staying on the throttle to some degree. I'm seeing a lot, and it's not everybody. I mean,
right.
Like Jordy was coaching a fight class, and he said, like, more people need to be sparring. Even it doesn't have to be hard and killer, but you need to be doing that. And I'm seeing a lot of, like, those upper black belts that aren't doing it. Are there some doing it? Absolutely. But, people just sliding off and staying motivated of going, it's what Lee said, who, Lee's fantastic at second degree, and I'm going to forget what his degree is in Aikido. I think it's maybe higher or the same somewhere. That, it is the beginning that we say that you're no longer a novice. And people seem to let off the throttle. And even with, sparring hard, but you got to keep doing it. Yeah. I think I suck. And I do.
You do.
I do.
No, I'm kidding. Don't hit me.
You can always get better.
Yeah.
But your experience level wasn't that high. I'm sorry. Yeah. You got a really far, but now it's really time to train hard. And I see a lot of people backing off, and you've got to wave and plateau and then get up higher on the mountain. And I'm not saying every week you're going to be going 100%, and that's even your fitness routine, you can't be going 100%. I'm kind of telling people you can't kill yourself every time. And the weight doesn't have to be the same all of the time. But some people end up, I gotta do this weight, and they get this in their head, and maybe today's a light day. At least you did something.
But that happened to me with just push-ups, right? That was last two classes. I was like, man, I'm really cranking out these push-ups. I got up today, went to go do it, and I'm like, I don't know what. Like, there's nothing there. Like, the tank was already empty. I kept going through it, but
just slow. Hold plank.
Yeah. Do
some slow. You don't need to kill yourself. I mean, really, in a Peaceful Warrior class, it's just a warm-up. It's not a workout. It's just a warm-up.
Yeah.
You're just getting ready to go and get your body prepared for class. So that's like it's kind of a known, like my warm-up. I'll change them over the years or different things or mix it up here and there. But you're kind of coming in, it's a known, getting the mind ready. Okay, we're shadow boxing, we're doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats, just basic stuff. We can do a ton of other things, but it's kind of a little autopilot. That people come in, they know what they're getting. And it gets their mindset going, and you're getting warm for class. And you're working your shadow boxing skill. We just did that video this weekend. And we're really trying to improve on ClearSky.Training. If you're listening to this, we're really trying to make that portal and record as much of the crap that I say. If you think it's valuable, awesome. If you don't, discard it.
It's valuable to share it.
Even if there's a little thing in there, if I listen to something like, oh, that's a good, good little point, whatever it may be. You might get, one thing out of a Jordan Peterson,
but you get one
podcast or short or whatever. But hey, I got one thing that's valuable. It's one great thing about the internet. I mean, the rest of it freaking sucks, and evidently like 30% of it's pornography. So that's a crazy number of like the entire internet or whatever.
Right.
I guess Joe Rogan. Was it Joe that was talking about
dedicated to porn instead of like other stuff? It's pretty wild.
It's crazy, But yeah, he was talking to Colin Quinn. That's another quick one. And I'm getting through a lot of podcasts because I'm listening to at 1.2 speed. But I got to remember. I know it's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
It's not too fast. I have to remember when I'm doing non-sleep deep rest from Andrew Huberman to put it back on 1 because otherwise non-sleep deep rest is not good accelerated. That's got to be at the pace, but I'll forget to take and change it on there. And I'm like, non-sleep deep rest is really going fast. Wait, oh. And you want to be calming your mind down and everything else. So
it was good to listen to everybody when they got their belts talk about their journey and what it took to get there. And it was really beautiful to see a lot of the dedication that was put in, the number of people that were supporting, especially with wives. I know my wife every morning, she's like, you have to go in and do it today, because there's days I'm just like, oh my gosh,
there's days you don't want to do it.
And then she's like, if you don't go, you're just gonna let John down. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I'll go. You gotta stay on it. It's even black belt. You've made it so far, but improve that technique. It's one thing when you're kind of forced to get good. I'm gonna start a martial arts school. You have to be doing that martial art on the days you don't want to. The days that you're in a fight with your wife, the days
you're exhausted mentally, physically.
Whatever it is, if you're there, you have to do it. And you're going, oh my gosh, it's like my little kids. And they're not even, the elementary school, I don't even know what grade these boys are in, but they're probably like 4th grade-ish, I don't know. But they're clamoring. I took 2 of them outside. I'm like, and of course, I'm like, look around. Does it anywhere say clown school? And these 2 boys are looking at the freaking ground. And I'm like, no, boys, the building. When you walk in, anywhere on this building, do you see clowns? Anything like that? Is it a clown school? No, it's a self-defense school. Get back in there and stop clowning around. Have some fun, but you have older kids in your class, and they're fooling around. The younger kids think that they can fool around.
Yeah.
What I told these boys, we only have one place to go. And I'm going to move you up to the tweens and teens. And then you're going to be at the bottom of the class, and that might just be a good thing. And the other kids are now you have to be partners with this big teenage kid.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun, little scrawny kid.
Yeah.
That'll make you good.
Scares me.
But you're going to be at the bottom of the barrel because now you're at the top and you don't have the discipline. Let's get serious, boys. There's time in my class to have some fun, but they're just goofing off on the whole darn thing.
Yeah. And
the other kids see it. But
yeah, and respect your coach. Like they're putting in a lot of time and effort to teach you something. Like it's not easy.
Like your parents are paying for you to be here.
That too. I mean, it's
almost like your parents care about you. They're bringing you here.
Yeah.
I wish I got involved in a martial art when I was this young.
Yeah.
And whatever.
There's some good things. Learning.
Yeah. There's some such good things with surrounding yourself by that culture, or get into a good gym that has good culture. Get out of the bottom of the barrel. People are just bringing you down. What are they really doing with their life?
Yeah. But right before Lee when I accepted his award, we were standing around and he was talking martial arts and motivation. He goes, remember, the black belt, that's when your coach now knows that they can start teaching you the stuff you need to know. Right? That becomes the contract that says, I'm ready to show you what it means to be a martial artist. And I thought that was really profound because that's the point. Because, you're not going to teach me a bunch of things I wouldn't be ready for. But once you have that black belt and you know that they're at that place where you can start showing them the meat and potatoes on stuff, it's a whole different world. And it opens up now because there's a whole new avenue to explore. And I think that's what they don't realize, right? Is you're not getting to the end of it. Welcome to the beginning. You're not a novice, right? Now I can start giving you the good stuff, the stuff that will change you, right? That will make you that martial artist you've always wanted to be. And that was his perspective on it, and I thought it was refreshing. Because now you don't have to deal with a bunch of novices. You can just jump in. John can give them whatever John wants, and really what he was saying.
Yeah, you can even flow through where people will say, "What now?" You have, well, flow to here. This guy does this, then do that. You've learned these basic kind of things, and that's totally true. And it's also just a deeper understanding. There's so much to be said about having reps and doing it for so long that you get a higher understanding of the technique and then flowing from other things, and you get little concepts. And that's where I see people plateau out and they think they've got it, and you don't. That's like basic. You're a higher level belt, but on this technique, you're still kind of at the 101 version of it. Don't stop training it. Don't think I've got it. I never think I've got it. I better keep working it. Something else is going to happen. You just got to do it more.
Yeah.
Just having the 101 concept of it isn't really it. It's kind of like, okay, you got subtraction and addition. Go! Well, what about multiplication?
And division. Yeah, all those. Yeah.
You just have adding and subtracting. You're missing
so much more.
So much of it. And, I always kind of relate it to, you're going through the grades in, elementary school, you're in middle school, you're in high school, you're in college. Now you're in the workforce. And there's so much to learn. And then your job changes.
Yeah.
Can you flow with it? Are you still, AI took your job. Whatever it is, are you still valuable to that company?
Yeah.
But how much? You have to pivot so much. It's where, having a martial arts school, I just love to go back to, hey, John, you need a website. Really? I really like the newspaper. I go back and put a flyer on bulletin boards. That was killer.
Yeah.
Where we're at now, and you're putting out this social media, we're doing more than ever, and it's harder than ever to get people in it. I just don't. Is it the state of the world? If we're putting out this much social media 8 years ago, what results would we be getting?
Makes me wonder.
I don't know, but where we're at now, we're doing more than ever. It takes more to run this school than ever. And you're going,
where are they at?
Where are they at?
Yeah.
Or it's going like, geez, so many businesses we've seen, restaurants go out.
I know.
Things of that nature. And you're going, nobody's giving me a raise. When people, hey, we're going to do, we need to make this podcast, whatever. And you're going to go, John, we need more funds for that. That's going to take me more time.
Yeah.
That's like when you're running your own business, people don't track those ups and downs of running that martial arts school, but you have to put in a lot of effort for the most part. There's a lot more people, there's videos, and God, if you're not putting out your own video, then your students are watching
someone else.
Other things that I was telling the little kids, there's better people than me out there, and there's worse people out there, but you're getting the techniques and stuff that we're doing here, so you're not deviating or learning something wrong. Quote that you have to unlearn, which can be hard. And maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. But, from an instructor standpoint, we all need to be on the same page for, here's a technique. Is there a variation? Sure. But that might not work on another module or course. Right in that black belt, if you're at black belt level and anybody can purchase it, we're putting the instructor conversations on there. We're not going to put them on YouTube.
No.
They're not there. We might take a little sound bites out of it, but those are there for the ClearSky.Training members to get on there. We're putting the Citizen Defender stuff. I think we got the whole warm up for Citizen Defender is on that, and we put a few other training videos on there, but we'll be building that one out. Every week, every month. But there's a lot of effort. There's a lot of time cutting video. Never mind recording it, which we're doing it on class time. a lot of it now. But cutting a video and the time it takes to cut the video and then handing it off to Lucy of like, all right, there's the video. Edited. I mean, most of the time I don't have to do too much, but you gotta put subtitles in there and
gotta cut
title it.
I mean, it's just
put a thumbnail on there. So when you look at it, you can go, oh, that's what it is with a visual, as well as nobody can read anymore. So they're looking at the video, and the video's got the thumbnail on it for the most part. But there's been videos I'm like, oh crap, it didn't have it because you're trying to get it done.
Yeah.
So we're trying to build that out, and as I told the little kids, so many people want things a la carte now, and big businesses are all doing that. We tried to, and some people said they didn't. We tried including in the membership a bunch of years ago. Mm-hmm. And people go, well, what if I don't want that? They want that off of their monthly tuition. Like, you should use it. But then I'm not on. Yeah. I don't learn that way. I'm like, it's a good reference. It's a really good reference.
It's good to reference.
So we took it off there, and it's not included in the membership, but it's like my daughter just went to her friend's graduation party. I think it's only $160 to fly there on Frontier. Okay, well, great. Let's look at that. Mm-hmm. And the time she booked the ticket, right now they're up to $3.
Which is crazy.
Because everything's all, oh, do you want a seat? The seat. She had gotten all the way to the front. She said, what seat should I book? There's no, in like some of it, who is it? United, I don't even know. But on Frontier, you go all the way through this process, and then you pay an extra $12, $18 for this seat. You're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You just told me it was this price. Now to pick an action. Wait a second. Didn't I just get the ticket? Oh no. There's another $12, $18 charge, whatever they had, to pick your seat.
Yeah, like that.
You're like, wait, hold on a second. Didn't I just book it?
See?
And then the luggage and everything else. So that's kind of where we've gotten that. I think, we've got it on sale because I think the value of it is a lot more, but we're trying to get people to use this site, and that's a great way to support the podcast. So
yeah, and you don't realize how valuable it is. If you're trying to train on your own, you can't get in. You can watch these videos at a minimum and at least keep
hearing
your mind
the lesson.
in it. Yeah.
We've got one of our guys, Stan, coming in. Been coming in the last 2 weeks. He had been injured. I'm like, just come to class and observe and pick up little things. So many people tell me how much they pick up by watching the class.
Yeah.
Watch the video, pick up something. You've trained it. You might see something a little different or pick up something different. So we've got all those from the basic all the way up to, getting the black belt with membership that includes everything. We're trying to really put it in an easy format for people to check out. Anything that besides, everybody, there's so many things on a black belt presentation that you want to say, but you also don't want to take up so much time. And this one, I really try to hand off to each individual to share their experience, which I thought was a really, really good thing. I had a few things like some of the guys that, started as teenagers. Like, pointing that these guys started when they were kids.
When I think it was Braden, I can't remember which one it was, Braden or Jordy. They said, I've spent half my life here. I was like,
Jordy.
Imagine that the influence you've had on that person's life, right? You've given them something that's really awesome. And then for them to say, I've spent half my life here, for a moment, you're like, holy smokes, he really has been here half of his life with me, right? And that's got to be really rewarding. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, no, I thought that was, that choked me up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It made me feel old, but then you go, yeah, well, geez, I started martial arts when I was 19.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And it was really
early
a lot
50s.
Everybody was talking about how it was the community of people here that really made it worth it, right?
And that's what we try.
Huge. That was, again, like I choked up a little down. I was like, I kind of like the people here, And I'm like,
it's a huge thing for martial arts school owners or even whatever it is. Sometimes you're slow, or you get that person that's just gonna cause you problems in your school. It's just not worth having them as a member.
Yeah.
That they're gonna scare away people, whatever it may be. Just one person, how much they can mess it up and try to be, whatever's going on. Like sometimes enough is enough. It's like this morning I told Justin to shut up. Like, just shut up. Like, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes you have to do that. But sometimes somebody walks in the door and you're going, you're not a good fit here.
Yeah.
And that can be hard as a business owner, because that's like, well, turn that painting job down. You're like, wait a second.
No, we don't turn your job down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard, but you don't see it sometimes. And, even I think it took me a long time to realize that as a martial arts school owner, that this person might cost me more money than they're actually worth, because they're not a good fit for this community.
Yeah.
They just don't have the right mindset. They're just a jerk, but whatever. They're in it for themselves. Good martial arts school is trying to help everybody get better. They're not. Yeah. Some school, like, you're not going to be a competitor. I mean, that happens in fitness gyms, especially like CrossFit competition. Like, we're all about CrossFit competition. Well, what about me? I just want to get in shape. And they don't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
A good school wants to get everybody better. Or, hey, be a competition school, but let that guy know.
Just trying to get better,
Hey, I'm not. I mean, one of our firefighters a bunch of years ago said, I went to another gym and they told me if I wasn't going to be a competitor, then you work out over that. You just stay over there.
Interesting.
Like, he's like, I want to be functionally fit. Crazy. So we should probably wrap it up. I'm trying to keep these to around a half hour these days, so we can get on and get after it and everything else we have to do. And same with you. Listen to it at 1.2 speed. You'll get through it faster that way. So listen, train more, suck less. Support the podcast at shop.rmsdf.com and shop.ClearSky.Training, and train with us online at just ClearSky.Training is the URL. That .training, if you didn't know, you can get that URL or .com, whatever the hell is. What are those things called, Josh?
I don't know.
You have no idea?
I have no idea.
Right.
I'm listening to music.
You're listening to music? We're fading out.
I'm trying, but still talking.
I'm fading. Where's Axel and Leo? Axel, you want to be on the podcast? It's fading out. You're not going to get on. Too slow, Leo.